Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, everyone. Good morning. Welcome to the second annual Epilepsy Connect Symposium. My name is Sarah Klein. I'm the CEO of the Epilepsy Foundation of Colorado, and it is my privilege and pleasure to welcome you here this morning. We are the Epilepsy Foundation of Colorado, and we are dedicated to the nearly 60,000 people in Colorado who are living with epilepsy. We call this the Connect Symposium because our goal is to connect with you and to connect you to each other and to connect you to resources and to connect you to healthcare providers and to connect you to the brightest minds in epilepsy research and treatment and lifestyle. And we hope that you walk out of here today empowered with new knowledge and new connections so that you can make the best decisions possible for yourself and for your loved ones and for the people in your care as you take the next steps in your journey with epilepsy. So we couldn't be here today without the generous support of many sponsors who I hope you got a chance to spend a little time with outside in the lobby, but I do want to say a special thank you to our hosts, Children's Hospital of Colorado, who we are pleased to be in their space today, and our internal sponsor, Dr. Kelly Knupp, who helped arrange everything for us so we could have a very enjoyable time today. I want to special thanks to her. Swedish Hospital is sponsoring our lunch today, so a special thank you to them in particular as well. And I want to thank our other lead sponsor, AZI, who we are very grateful to. I want to also make sure I acknowledge the rest of our sponsors before moving on. Medtronic, Supernus, Aquestive, Biocodex, Greenwich Biosciences, Mallinckrodt, NeuroPace, SK Life, and UCB. So again, we couldn't be here without their generous support, so we're really grateful for all of their support. Thank you. So now to introduce our keynote speaker this morning. So this is Dr. Marie Collier. She's originally from Tennessee, but you don't hear a lot of that in her voice, but listen closely. So she earned her bachelor's degree in biochemistry and molecular and cellular biology, and then followed by her medical degree from the University of Texas Health Science Center in San Antonio. She's from the South, but you can't tell. You can't tell.
I'm a chameleon.
But then she went to Salt Lake City and did her neurology residency and fellowship in clinical neurophysiology with a focus on epilepsy at the University of Utah. But she is passionate about health and wellness, and if you were part of the morning mindfulness session earlier this morning, you'll get a sense of that, as well as with these singing bowls, which you'll find interesting. And so because she cares about the whole person, she went on to pursue a second fellowship in integrative medicine. And she's the only doctor that I know that is also a certified yoga instructor. So she's not your average doctor. Anyway, you'll really enjoy hearing from her this morning, and it's my pleasure to introduce Dr. Marie Collier.
Thank you so much. And I know we're on a time crunch, Sarah. Since I'm getting started a titch late, how much time could I take for this talk? Just 45? 25. Okay, 25. All right, so I'm going to hit the ground running. I do talk a little fast. Because the most important thing for me is to get connected here today with everyone here. And I would like to acknowledge every one of you for taking a Saturday to spend together, connecting and talking about epilepsy, whether you're a person with epilepsy, whether you're a caregiver, whether you're a provider, whoever you are, whether you're a volunteer, you are here because you're making a difference in the world. You're helping raise awareness. You're helping shift the consciousness, shift the focus, taking away the stigma, all of the things that come from creating a community. And that's what we have here. We have a community for people with epilepsy. We have a community to connect. And I just want to talk a little bit about how we are wired to connect. We're social creatures. We're born connected, right, with the umbilicus. We're connected more regularly with others. It helps us. It helps social connections have a fundamental impact on our health and our wellness. And I'm going to show you some data. One of the reasons I enjoy doing talks like this is because it helps me learn. I had no idea the impact that social isolation has on health. We are in a pandemic of social isolation. Actually, young adults ages 18 to 22 have the highest levels of loneliness, and seriously, loneliness is an epidemic. This is me getting connected at the American Academy of Neurology. This is what I do. I have a yoga community. I am a registered yoga teacher. And I now teach yoga at the AAN. And this is everybody getting up at 7 o'clock in the morning to practice with me last year for the American Academy of Neurology's annual conference. We have something called the Live Well, Lead Well program through the AAN. And it's absolutely incredible. This was in Philadelphia. And we have a whole area. You can see that we have kind of like a little fake beach scene right here where we we pretend like we're doing yoga on the beach. But this is how I get connected in my community. And loneliness and perceived social isolation, it increases stress hormones. Stress hormones increase inflammation. My personal goal in life is to get as anti-inflammatory as possible. And it's more challenging than one would think. We have a fairly toxic environment on so many levels. But it increases the risk of chronic illness, including dementia. And as a neurologist, on a daily basis, I have someone asking me, well, how can I prevent dementia? And it's like, well, hey, get connected with people. That's one of the ways, A few others, it's not as simple as that, but that's certainly something that's going to help. It says lethal is smoking upwards of 15 cigarettes a day, and it's more harmful than obesity from a health standpoint. It occurs in 1 in 5 adults, and it affects greater than 8 million adults over the age of 50. And then 25% of Americans have no meaningful social support at all. Many people with epilepsy experience social isolation, and epilepsy has an effect on the social network of people with epilepsy. So some of the driving factors can be negative comparisons, the keeping up with the Joneses phenomenon, the decrease in social connectivity, deficient empathy in relationships, chronic disease and illness can be very socially isolating, as well as poverty. So I want to differentiate that loneliness is not the same as being alone. Some solitude can be good. I personally like to go hiking with my dogs and go sit and stare at water in a river for a while and do nothing and not talk to anyone and not look at my phone, that type of thing. That's different. That's, having some alone time is not the same as loneliness. And also, loneliness can worsen if you're using social media as a substitute. The jury is out in terms of does Facebook contribute or does it not, or blah, blah, blah. But really, it's the intention behind what you're doing with social media that ultimately affects the loneliness. This, to me, was riveting. I don't know if I've got a pointer on here somewhere. But social isolation is expensive. We look at the added spending averages of $134 a month per socially isolated enrollee. They're generally sicker and more likely to be admitted to a nursing home after hospitalization. We should be talking about this. We really need to address this. When you think about as adults are getting older, the baby boomer generation, and it's just going to get worse if we don't really start having a conversation about the importance of connecting. And you guys are at the front lines of fighting social isolation right here, right now, today, at this Epilepsy Connect Symposium. When I was a kid, my mom was really into the Beatles. I love the Beatles, too. George was my favorite. But Eleanor Rigby was like the most terrifying song I had ever heard in my life when I was a kid. It was like such a traumatizing song as a child to hear. Like, don't play that song for your children. You're like, oh my God, getting old is terrifying. So old age is the most common time to develop epilepsy, interestingly. And the fastest growing segment of epilepsy patients in the US is over the age of 65. After the age of 60, you have a 3% per decade chance of developing epilepsy. And it's under-recognized. And the reason why is because most seizures in the elderly are partial onset. They're not the drop-to-the-floor convulsive seizure. And it can be mistaken for dementia, Alzheimer's disease, depression, or normal aging. So to me, I don't think it's a coinkydink that you're looking at social isolation and epilepsy, because here was an interesting study. In rats who were studied, mouse models with epilepsy, they actually, social isolation actually worsened their epilepsy, which has implications for clinical trials. It tells us something about what social isolation is doing in rats predisposed to seizures. So, you can extrapolate that. And then people with epilepsy are talking about it. If you go onto the Epilepsy Foundation's website, you can see that people with epilepsy are talking about the impact that this has on their quality of life. Fortunately, this was in epilepsia. There are ways and tools that patients can have, self-management tools, and through the Epilepsy Foundation, having a connection, being able to have participant-led group discussions, encourage self-acceptance, changes in self-management. I'll be talking a little bit later about Project Uplift. I live on the western slope of Colorado. I'm in Grand Junction. And we don't have a very good public transportation system. And I have patients who live in very rural areas. And Project Uplift has been a lifesaver for them because they've been able to get online and meet people. And sometimes my patients with epilepsy are just saying, I just want to talk to someone else with epilepsy. And they don't have a chance to because they live in Silt or something. So who is familiar with Thich Nhat Hanh? I love his work. He recently had a stroke. Not recently, but a couple of years ago he had a stroke. He's gone back to Vietnam. My friends who studied with him at Plum Village say that he's probably going to die soon, but his work is absolutely beautiful. The larger you're beloved of the community, the more you can accomplish in the world. So actions, and that's what I want to get to. I don't want this to all be doom and gloom, like we are in a pandemic of loneliness and we're going to die. I don't want you to feel that way. I want you to feel hopeful. I want to give people tools. In yoga, we say, look, listen, give tools. And that's what I do. When I walk into a yoga room, I love being a yoga teacher. It's made me a better doctor. It really has, and I'll talk more about that this afternoon. But I walk into a room, and I see how I'm showing up in the world, how I'm showing up with people. So actions to alleviate loneliness. Empathize. Low empathy in relationships can contribute to loneliness. Exercise, consider yoga. It's not going to save the world, but it really is kind of like India's gift to the world. A team sport, non-contact preferably. Interact with family and friends. One good, meaningful relationship can make a difference. Carve time for yourself. And that's the thing that people, especially caregivers of patients with epilepsy or people with epilepsy, they don't make time for themselves. Remember, you put your own oxygen mask on first. They tell us that in the airplane every time. And, you just have to remember to do that because you're not going to help anyone if you're not well yourself. If you're not hurried, you have more time to build relationships. Avoid comparisons. Just do, okay? You're here. You're perfect, exactly how you are. Don't compare yourself. Get adequate sleep. I love sleep. Sleep is so important. And then build compassion. So here are some guided meditations. This is a fantastic website, but every one of these is a guided meditation that you can follow. Get a meditation practice, and I promise it will change your world. One of my most cherished mentors, Dr. Pega Afra, made me familiar with Vipassana meditation when I was a fellow at the University of Utah. And it's actually where you can go and do like a 10-day silent meditation. And it's absolutely phenomenal. The Dalai Lama has a Twitter account. It's like the only reason why I signed up for Twitter initially, because he is so much fun to follow on Twitter. And I really do believe that compassion is the radicalism of our time. This could not be any more true. So cultivating compassion. Self-compassion enhances life satisfaction, improves psychological and emotional well-being, it improves mood, and people who have self-compassion are likely to have better social connections. So that's kind of paradoxical, right? The more gentle you are with yourself, the more people are going to be connected with you. There's a study showing that people with dogs have improvement in She's like, yeah. I have 4, and I love my dogs. And basically, they showed that people with dogs have fewer heart attacks or have improvement in their health after hospitalization, that type of thing. And I have a theory, because when I am like looking at my dogs, I'm like, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. Like that's what I do to my dogs, like all day long. And your brain, there's actually, I won't go into too much of it, but there's something called mirror neurons. And the brain really can't differentiate between you and me, right? The Buddhists say that hating another person is like drinking a poison and expecting for them to die. And so, therefore, loving another person, right? Building that connection is like sending love to yourself. So I love you, and there really is, no difference. We are all connected. We really are. It's just an illusion. Sorry, don't mean to get too deep here, but that's what we're taught in yoga, right? That we really, really are all connected. And the more we start to recognize that, the more we start to acknowledge that, we're going to heal ourselves and we're going to heal the planet. Whoa, that got deep. That's a whole other talk. So if you want to be happy, practice. If you want others to be happy, practice compassion. If you want to be happy, practice compassion. His Holiness the Dalai Lama. So here's a tool I want to give us today. The loving kindness meditation, the metta prayer. So metta is Pali for loving kindness. It's an access to cultivate compassion. It's magic, basically. Just saying. And I actually learned this when I was in my integrative medicine fellowship. I got so much out of my integrative medicine fellowship. It was amazing. It was a 2,000-hour, 2-year course through the Academy of Integrative Health and Medicine. And I learned motivational interviewing. I learned metta prayer. I learned so much. And basically, it's a practice of cultivating understanding, love, and compassion by looking deeply first at ourselves and then at others. And just by saying one line will bring more compassion and healing into the world, and we need healing right now. We need healing so bad. With this practice, we observe how much peace, happiness, and lightness we already have. We are so blessed. And it makes you feel connected to others, loved ones, acquaintances, and strangers. And then, of course, it has to be evidence-based medicine for me to, want to believe it, right? We're in the tyranny of evidence-based medicine right now. There was a point where doctors got to, see things and make a decision based on what they saw, but not anymore. It has to be evidence-based. So guess what? We have evidence that this works. And this is actually the Greater Good website, but the study was actually done at Stanford, and it really shows that people who practice loving-kindness meditation daily for 7 weeks reported a steady increase in their daily experience of positive emotions compared to placebo. So compared to people that didn't do the metta prayer. And this woman is great, Dr. Emma Seppala. And I mean, you're like, whoa, this is a panacea right here. But I mean, really, she's a PhD researcher who has 18 science-based reasons why you should try the loving kindness meditation today. You can't afford to not do it. And as physicians and providers in this era of burnout, we really need to foster loving kindness for ourselves and for others, because one of the biggest signs of burnout is being felt as though you're being put upon, right? You're put upon by your patients, that kind of thing. If you can take a sacred pause, if you can give yourself loving kindness, if you can go into that exam room and you can give your patients loving kindness, you can help your patients, you can help yourself, and you can get love and joy back into the practice of medicine, which we really need right now. All right, that being said, I would like to, are y'all ready to do it? I'm basically selling loving kindness here. So we will start with the metta prayer. And all of these, you can get any one of these online. But I really like this particular one. And there are many ways to do it. For people with trauma, sometimes they have a really, really hard time bringing loving kindness to themselves initially. So they may actually need to give loving kindness to their pet, or they may need to give loving kindness to a family member or something before they start with themselves. A lot of patients say that the hardest thing they can do is look at themselves in the mirror and tell themselves that they love them. And so you kind of have to meet people where they are. and that's the way I practice. But in this particular meditation, we are going to start with each other, okay? So allow yourself to get comfortable. Relax your shoulders. Relax your eyes. Relax your jaw. Feel free to close your eyes or have a soft gaze. Just relax. You can put your feet on the floor. Today we'll be exploring the loving kindness meditation. Through this loving kindness meditation, we will be cultivating feelings of compassion, feelings of loving kindness for yourself and for others. Allow yourself to relax and notice how your breath feels right now. Simply watch your breath. Notice the texture of your breathing, going in to the edges of your nostrils and out. Notice the rate of your breathing. Notice the depth of your breathing. There's no need to change it. Just simply observe. Bring your awareness to your chest, to your beating heart. Place your awareness there as you continue to watch your breath. Notice what it feels like to breathe into your chest, to breathe into your heart. Simply place all of your awareness right there in the center of your chest. Now, slowly and silently, repeat this phrase in your mind. May I be happy. May I be well. May I be comfortable and at peace. May I be happy. May I be well. May I be comfortable and may I be at peace. Continue to repeat these words in your mind and in your heart. Notice any subtle changes that occur and how you feel. May I be happy. May I be well. May I be comfortable. And may I be at peace. Continue to breathe into your heart. Continue to repeat those words. May I be happy. May I be well. May I be comfortable and at peace. Now, bring your awareness to a person whom you love dearly, maybe someone who made it possible for you to be here today. Notice who comes into your mind. And keeping an image of this person in your mind, in your mind's eye, slowly repeating these words. May you be happy. May you be well. May you be comfortable and at peace. May you be happy. May you be well. May you be comfortable and at peace. Notice how you feel in your chest as you continue repeating these words. May you be happy. May you be well. May you be comfortable and at peace. Now bring into your mind more of your loved ones, offering him that same message, that same prayer. May you be happy. May you be well. May you be comfortable and at peace. May you be happy. May you be well. May you be comfortable and at peace. Notice how you feel right now. Bring into your awareness people whom you would consider acquaintances, someone who gave you a cup of coffee this morning. Bring into your mind's eye again and repeat the sacred prayer. May you be happy. May you be well. May you be comfortable and at peace. May you be happy. May you be well. May you be comfortable and at peace. Notice how you feel as you extend loving kindness to acquaintances. Now, think of someone you have conflict with. Picture this person in your mind's eye and see if you can offer this same loving kindness that you've offered to others. May you be happy. May you be well. May you be comfortable and at peace. May you be happy. May you be well. May you be comfortable and at peace. Notice how this feels to offer feelings of loving kindness to someone you have conflict with. Now, let's extend this feeling further. Picture the entire human race, male, female, all nations, all cultures, all genders, all races, nationalities, ages, heights, weights, all people, all human beings. Now, repeat in your mind. May we be happy. May we be well. May we be comfortable and at peace. May we be happy. May we be well. May we be comfortable and at peace. May we be happy. May we be well. May we be comfortable and at peace. Notice how you feel in your heart right now. Notice what is present for you. Spend a few moments feeling this, noticing this, experiencing this feeling right here, right now. Continue to breathe into your heart. Continue to focus your awareness in the center of your chest. I invite you to wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. Gently open your eyes. Carry this feeling of loving kindness within you. You have this within you. You always have access to this connection. Bring your attention to how you feel in your body right here, right now. Notice what is present for you. Carry this feeling of loving kindness with you into your community. Carry this feeling of loving kindness with you today as we interact with this connecting symposium. May you be happy. May you be well. May you be comfortable and at peace. Blessings. I had received a request to not play the bowls from someone, so I'm going to respect that. She said that it was a trigger for her. So today we have the Epilepsy Connect Symposium. And we will be having all kinds of opportunities, incredible opportunities, put together by an amazing community. I am so humbled and honored by the opportunity to be here. I am delighted to live in the state of Colorado, where we have an incredibly strong epilepsy foundation that cares so much about how we show up for our community. Thank you.